Hi, friends. It is I, host Eric, Coach Talking to Fitness People. What mic am I coming through? This one? Crank up the just in case. Mic check, mic check. That's better. Okay. One of the challenges of being human is checking the microphone levels, interfacing. That's the challenge I'm feeling is challenging in general right now, or one of two main challenges. Interfacing. Interfacing is a challenge. It struck me that an ENTP, and this would also be true of any action deliberation type, basically operates under the assumption, sup, not host Mark. What's going on with you? Update me on your story. Basically operates under the assumption, the action and deliberation types, that the world's offering them a bunch of turn-based circumstances. It's not going to require them to, it's going to allow them to play out their plan through the end of their turn before responding to you. Of course, that's not how the world actually works. There's a lot of interfacing that goes on, whereby you've got to be responsive and reactive to what the other person's saying or the other person's feelings or the realities of a system, such as this one, where the realities of it are I have to turn up and down the mics depending on what I'm doing, and I need to remember to turn them back up when I've turned them down, and what I would consider pre-work that I don't like. Where are you at right now? Are you at a different place for your graduate school? I see. Good. So, different people have different kinds of challenges, and one of the realities that we all face is that even if we're heavily an NI user, we experience our realities as the master level frame. And so it's difficult for anybody to put their own challenges in life in perspective, quote unquote. We can say things like first world problems, but we never really act like our problems are first world problems. If they're our problems, then they're problems for us, obviously. So, and the fact is, for a lot of intuitives, the problems that they're having are not problems that are very concrete. Sometimes it is concrete problems, but generally the problem is ontological in the sense that there's some sort of identity crisis, there's some sort of dissatisfaction with the self or with what's going on in their life. There's some sort of external circumstances that have taken away stuff that's precious to them, perhaps. Hello, Canaver.ioi. And the fact that whatever is causing that person difficulties might not seem objectively important to some external party is irrelevant. We're metaphysical creatures as well as physical creatures. So, Rachel's in the same circumstance now as she was before we started dating. The only thing that's different is this sort of abstract reality that, well, she and I are together and we have plans and stuff. her experience in terms of the physical objective moment to moment reality of it is basically the same as it was before we got together. But her experience of it is very different because it's framed differently now. And it shows you how a lot of times it's the storylines in which things occur that are determinant regarding whether or not a person is happy, rather than any sort of objective point of doable things. What do you have to complain about? You got no financial difficulties. You got or whatever somebody might say to some random person. Well, I mean, for each person, they are experiencing their current situation against their own ideals, against their own expectations of reasonable alternatives, against a lot of different things that have nothing to do with objectivity. Turning into a mystery school, or has it been this whole time? I don't know what mystery school. I'm trying to figure out how to make a registered symbol. Well, stories are perhaps more objective than the real thing, anyways, at least what they point to. I mean, what I'm saying is objective as in easily accessed by anybody. So the aspects of a person's life that are easily relatable between people, like, well, I don't understand what Marianne is always complaining about. She's got a maid. She doesn't have to work. She's a housewife. Her husband does a good job. She's got a maid. She is spoiled to death. I don't know what her problem is. Her husband's not mean to her. Whatever else somebody might say objectively about a situation. But for Marianne, it might simply be there's no connection there with a person. And she knows it's not in her financial interest to break up with a person, but does that mean she should stay with them? No. That's what I mean by objective. The objective data, which is stuff like I can list like that, versus the subjective data, which is like Marianne's hopes, dreams, feelings that she really can't justify because it's FI shit, but she shouldn't have to justify because it's FI shit. So the point is, everybody has various challenges in life. Or nothing worth mentioning. I will mention it anyway, but let me get to it. Everybody has challenges in life, and some of them are more serious than others, but they may not be a big deal in the big picture, but it can be very frustrating to you if you find it frustrating. So for me, I went and played poker tonight down in Hawaiian Gardens, and I lost $120 in like 2 hours. And I didn't play well at all. I never do play well. And I know I'm not a good poker player. I know this. I'm a terrible poker player. Why do I know this? Well, I know this from a history of experience of losing in poker repeatedly, like almost never winning. I know this because it's obvious to me that I'm very easy to read. I have no good poker face. And it struck me as I was driving home, $120 later, feeling like an idiot, that I have no business playing a game that's about two things more than anything else: an interface function, FE, and the knowledge function I don't have, NI. True, TI can be used to some extent in the game, but it's basically not a TI game. It just isn't. It's about psychology of people. About manipulating people, moving people around. I'm just not equipped to interface that well, that long, to pay that much attention to it. I'm way too easily bored, you know? So, of course, being all upset at myself or anything, I thought, well, this isn't really that big of a deal. Like you feel dumb, but it's not like you spent all the money in your wallet or something. I had more cash than that in my wallet because I got a couple of days of work's pay and cash in my wallet, but and I didn't do a third buy. I mean, a fourth buy. I did 3 buys. It was a $40 no limit table, right? The first time I went all in, I didn't think the guy had it, and he did. The second time I went all in, same thing. I didn't think he had it, and he did. But the second time, I don't really kick myself at all because I had ace king. There's a king on the board. There were 2 5s on the board. He had a 5 in his hand. Anyway, the third $40 might have just thrown in the trash because at that point I was frustrated, or I don't even know what I was. I was just like, why am I even here? What made me think I wanted to come play poker? I know it always turns out like this, and that I just sort of lose, and I'm just bad at poker. I don't like the way the rake is set up in the poker game at a casino because the rake's insane. It'll take like $4 out of every pot, and a $40 limit table, a $40 no limit table, you get pots that aren't that big. So, if the pot doesn't get bet up real quick, then you can end up winning the pot and breaking even on the hand just because of the rake. So one of my challenges then is to remember this, to let my SI outweigh my NE and to a certain extent my NI regarding this thing. Eric, you don't like this. You never like this. It always ends up like this. Why do you keep thinking after a month of not playing that you're going to have fun and go play again and try your luck again? What? Why? Why don't you remember that you don't like this? The answer is, of course, 4th slot SI and 5th slot NI, because the NI truth is it sounds fun. And I have other sort of NI realizations about it that if I were only to play in tournaments where there's no rake, you pay the sort of fee to the casino up front, and then you don't have to worry about the total amount of chips sort of dwindling. Then you would have more fun, and then it would be more of a legitimate kind of thing where you anyway. But the thing is that NI sort of reasoning competes with my SI knowledge of my experience. And a night like tonight where I felt, yeah, antsy, not really like I was going to be into whatever it is I did. That sounded more self-pleasuring than any kind of workish thing. So I was just like, I'll go do that. That sounds okay. I have to go by the weed store anyway, and so I'm already in the car and heading that direction. I might as well just head on down there the rest of the way. So yeah, do I feel meh? Yeah, I have some meh in my heart, but it's not a ton of meh, and I'm feeling less meh as this conversation goes on, because of course I like to think that, okay, well, make sure that your lesson that you paid $120 for generates as much utility to you as possible. So that means make videos talking about it. It means try to deduce things about cognitive functions from it. And as they say. If you know what I'm saying, if you know what I mean. My little friends, my small friends. Does anybody get the reference? That reference is an Animaniacs episode in which Bill Shatner was trying to do his spoken word music for the Animaniacs kids. But instead what happens is the kids are not very patient listening to his performance. He's increasingly frustrated, telling them to sit down and be quiet. So he said, my little friends, my small friends. You should have Jeeves. Eric, you should have Jeeves as a guest for one stream someday. Sure, I'd have Jeeves as a guest. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't think he wants to go on camera or Mike. A lot of people, that's kind of a thing, you know. It's kind of like, they've run out of scrotal rubbing butter and need to hurry to the store and get some more. You can ask him if you want. I'll go along with whatever you plan for me. So, I don't know. I have a meh feeling about me. And it's like, with a kitty this adorable, I really should be fairly meow-proof. Oh, what a slutty kitty. Oh, yeah. That's one slutty kitty. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totes adorbs indeed. She's a cutie pie. And I gotta tell you, she's gotten increasingly, I guess you'd say, needy since I've had her. I used to just see her back in Kimberly. I'd see her once a day in the morning, usually. Of course, she had more company over there. She had other cats, but well, Fenty Deluxe. Here's the thing: you can't explain to people that you're interested in the Negro spiritual musical art form without using the word Negro. So, also, I can't talk about my longtime support of the United Negro College Fund without using the word Negro. So, what are you going to do? I'm into Negro spirituals, and I'm into the United Negro College Fund. Yeah. When I'm African American, I don't usually refer to myself as a Negro, but I have on occasion. One time I went into Red Lobster when I was African American. I said, I'm sorry, do you guys have any discounts for Negroes? And they informed me they did not. Really? Is that a permanent condition, or are you transracial like me? Because there's two kinds of transracial. There's the kind of transracial that switches once because they were born in the wrong race, and then there's the kind of transracial like me who transes across the different races kind of willy-nilly, like carried by the trade winds, so to speak, across the ethnicities of the world. True dat. True dat. You're race fluid? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you could say I'm race fluid too. I prefer the term transracial because I'm at any given moment I'm a solid. We can deduce a state of fluidity because I change, but at any given moment I'm not fluid. When I'm Negro, I'm Negro. When I'm Asian, I'm Asian. When I'm Mexican, I'm Mexican. When I'm Icelandic, I'm Icelandic. I didn't even know souls had races, Fenty Deluxe. That's good to know. Antarctican. Okay, so do you want to start a soul race war with me? I was thinking about starting one. I'm thinking about pitting. We'll be Antarcticans like you. There'll be Atlanteans like me. People from Atlanta, and people at Landau Field. They'll all be part of our team. Okay. Antarctican supremacy. Exactly. I think we should call ourselves the nations of the Southern Oceans. It include Antarctica, Atlantis, the Falkland Islands, and a patch of ocean that we'll call Oshwanda, and some seabirds. Digizico. Interesting on an intuitive level. No wonder we're the few. Well, I don't know. I think about that. Like, obviously, I don't have a very broad appeal in terms of media making at the moment, at least not for many of my videos. I don't. Some of them they do have broad appeal, but by and large, I indulge myself with videos like this, where I'm chatting with people in the live chat. Fellow intuitives seem certain kinds of introverted fellow intuitives, especially, seem to enjoy it. Some extroverted intuitives do as well, but I certainly enjoy it. Here's the thing. I got a better sense also tonight what it means to not know what you want. Because that's what happened. I got home from work, I finished eating dinner, I came out here, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Or I just didn't know what I wanted. I knew that I've been just I feel like I've been doing too much just live streaming. And so I thought, I don't want to just do that again. I want to go out and do something, or I want to do something. What I should have done is gone to bed. I should have just been like, no, Eric, you're tired. And I'd be like, I'm not tired, I'm just sleep. Okay, well then direct your attention to the SI shit. Maybe go jogging, take a shower, relax, get into bed, drink a cup of warm coffee, get into Rai mode. I could have done that, should have done that, or would have been best served by doing that. But when I'm feeling kind of meow, I don't typically want to. It's always been hard for me to say, okay, fun time's over. Now it's time to get ready to wind down time. Always hated wind down time. It's like, what does this even mean? Wind down time. I'm not wound down. I'm wound up. You can't compel me to wind down. I don't like to wind down. Do you know that I'm mostly beehive hairdo? It's true. A beehive hairdo. What part of feline is countess? What part is feline countess? I bet. I'm guessing. I'm just taking a wild guess here. Fenty. That's crass and rude. Should always refer to a woman's lady parts as her vagina or vag. VJ or snatch or hole or gash. Any of those is fine. Velvety folds. Her plunge portal would be acceptable. Her meat flaps. Just south of the fupa. Any of those things would be acceptable. But not the P word, okay? Not the P word, not acceptable. Very, very inconsiderate of you. Axe wound. That's funny. It looks like an axe wound. I can totally picture some gay guy saying that. And the girl who's being looked at going, ah, what? I'm sorry, girlfriend. I'm just saying. Nothing personal. What, your vag? Kind of looks like an axe wound. That's funny. So anyhow, life has challenges. Being human, challenging thing. Sometimes we gotta argue and bicker. Sometimes we gotta fight. Sometimes we gotta love. Sometimes we gotta hug. Sometimes we gotta poke. Sometimes we gotta be poked. Sometimes we gotta strum the guitar. Sometimes we gotta try to strum the piano, and then just pounding on the keys. These are the wise words of wisdom that spill forth from my lips on a daily basis to bless the ears of those so wise as to attend with driplets and droplets of knowledge and truth. The sort of dewy driplets and droplets that osmosisize themselves all over your body, deep into your heart and soul. Sometimes we have a pope. Sometimes we have another pope. Sometimes there's a brief interval between popes. Sometimes I feel like a pope. Sometimes I don't. Okay? That's why I come with nuts and without nuts. Mounds, nuts. The other one, no nuts. If you really would like to know more about papal politics, me, the Catholic Church, and our sometimes strange, sometimes loving relationship, you should see my one-act play, Feeling Up the Pope, a true story. It's all about the time that I made my pilgrimage to the Vatican to feel up the Pope, as all good Catholics must. Or at least that's what I'd been told. I guess some people have been lying to me, trying to trick me. But the priest was in on it, apparently. And I thought it'd be funny if throughout my childhood, They repeatedly told me over and over again that every good Catholic must make a pilgrimage to the Vatican to feel out the Pope. When I was old enough, I asked exactly how I was supposed to feel him up. I was told a double-handed reach around would be fine. Anyway, the play is all about my trip to Rome and the time I spent in the Vatican jail. You probably didn't even know they had a jail. They do. It's called Vale. It's a combination of Vatican and jail. I told them it was a dumb name. They didn't listen to me. They've got like everything with a V in front of it there. It's like branding, I guess. Anyway, yeah, well hung, the Pope. Well hung man, I must say. Uncircumcised, surprisingly. I was able to get underneath the pants. I was. The nice thing is when I got my hands out of there, oh my God, what was it? It was Pimp My Package. He obviously used Deathstroke's Pimp My Package, which is the ultimate in masculine refreshing spray. So anyhow, life has problems. Life's full of challenges. Don't let unfresh scrotal skin be one of your challenges. Try Downstroke's Pimp My Package scrotal refreshment spray today. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who's, I think I am the one. Kid is not my son. Freaking, I heard a Michael Jackson song on the radio tonight on the way home from the poker place, and terrible. It's terrible. Billie Jean is a pretty good song, and Michael Jackson does have some good songs, but most of Michael Jackson's songs are absolutely fucking terrible. And he's not aging well, frankly, is what it boils down to. Various artists age more or less poorly, depending on how actually genuinely, timelessly good and true their music is. Only a few of his tracks really are good in that way, and that's why he just doesn't age well. Creepy, weird fucking dude. Weird dude, right? Like he's so obviously posturing in everything he's doing. Well, Fendi Deluxe, at least you didn't choose the deputy. There's a silver lining, yeah. Oh, and Countess here, so I mean, I know the poor guy's got 10 bullets in him, but the good news is neither you nor Countess put them there. I mean, that's not really true. The Beatles age well. They're dead, or at least John Lennon is, Mozart aged well. He's dead. Your mom's face ages well. Hopefully she's still alive. Don't mean to wish ill upon your mother. Whoever you are. Swift Eagle. Yeah. So So I'll play my in progress song here. Probably change all the vocals on it though. I'll keep those vocals. So maybe let me look at this. It's remotely set up to play. What do we got here? What have we here? All right then. Let's take a look. Righto. Let's see. Here we are. There we go. $1 on this suit. Now I'm strutting down the streets of Duluth. Saturday night, just got paid. I'll make it tight. I'll rock and roll down to the bar. They will know who hit the floor. 'Cause Minnesota badass on the scene. Minnesota badass. I don't have the bass down on this. It's all a mess right now. Never mind. I had it sort of orderly, and that currently it's in a mess state. So never mind. I can't possibly play it to you without doing a lot of work on it. It's because I added some shit at the end, and then I guess messed up all the mix and everything. And who knows what I was doing. I was very tired. At the end of the night, when you're really tired and you're working on shit, it's like when you get it the next morning, oh, what the fuck did I do to this? Oh, Jesus. But let me tell you this much. It's an area of frustration for me in music in general, a little bit sometimes. I never feel it's one thing where it's like I don't really have faith that at any point that I will be able to do anything good. In fact, I know I can't reliably do that. So I know that part of my process of coming up with something good and making a good song usually involves a few false starts that don't end up going anywhere. So sometimes that can be demotivational. And sometimes I can start to lose faith that there's any more good ones in me. And then I'll hit upon something that I like a lot, and I'll go, oh, God, this is a good one. This is kind of good. I get all excited about it, and then man. But unlike a lot of things, I don't fundamentally have faith in it because I can't willfully do it. There's nothing that needs to be helped with that. It's not an actual problem. It's a fear that reoccurs no matter how many times it's proved unfounded. The reason is because I can't willfully make good music. I have to incorporate too much introverted intuition to make good music, and that's not a willful cognitive function for me. It's unconscious or ignored. I've developed it. I've developed upholding that value very well, whether I actually use introverted intuition or whether I've developed workarounds for it or whatever is hard to say. Oh, dear Lord, not this again. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oh, dear God, no. Oh. Oh shit! It's like a bio weapon I released into the community. Okay, so anyway, I don't know if to stop me from keep talking. And I ignore it's a bitch. It sure is. But the thing is, I should have faith from my experience that I've done it so many times. I've been in this state of I'm not really happy. But I know already from experience that I just have to be patient, wait for the right mood to come around and the right moments, and when that happens, everything just falls into place. You know, it's like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. I'm in my room, and everything's all like zoom, zoom, zoom. I have to say, I'm quite excited about this. You know, this Caseworks and tournament this weekend. I've constructed the most badass affirmation case for this nuclear weapons topic in the history of the world. I mean, I think that counts. I would just scratch Matthias Sanchez's 3 because that's so out of sequence that it's not like it was accidentally he put 3 there or something. I don't know why he would put that there, but I would say that counts, in my opinion. But there's no double up numbers. There's no yeah. I think you did it. I mean, the thing is, it's got an asterisk by it because of Matthias Sanchez's bullshit. There's no denying it's got an asterisk. You don't need the weatherman to tell you if you're getting wet. All right, enough talk. Talk is cheap. Complete the lyrics. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. I don't know those lyrics. I don't know them. I don't know them. Mm-hmm. 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 I must know Jack Johnson. I am familiar with. I mean, I saw him in concert with Kimberly, I believe. What am I putting here? Gerald has a thought. Turn the beat over. Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald has a thought to get the margarine tater tots. He's got a good idea for an ancient business. Thinking now about what it's called Christmas. And they hired his firm to change that name. You always thought that it'd be chance enough to return to the work that's rough. Get back to it eventually. But his visions piled up, and his plans would interrupt all the work he started out. So hopefully, now his mind back on the business, thinking of changing factless to listless. Oh, how all of the people would shout his name. And everyone knows it comes down more clearly now. He won't provide explanation regarding the why, the how. He'll see you and know you from inside the roar. Exciting, delighting, Gerald plays his part. Careful to me, running out. Too much to do. He tried diamond me under you. Too much to be but. So where now and what? Too much time spent nitpicking the skew. With you, Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald's got a plot. Get the margarine's tasty spots. He's got a good idea for an ancient business. Thinking now about what to call Christmas. When they hire his firm to change that name. Gerald has a thought. Pow, 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 pow. Piggity pow. Piggity, piggity, pow, pow. Pew, 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 piggity pow. Piggity pow. Pigga pow. Pigga pow, pow, pow. Piggity pow, pow. Piggity pow. If you like pigging and you like powing, you'll certainly like this piggity powing. I think that's true. It's fair to say that. I'm going to put your hands together God damn it. After this chorus. People everywhere gather, enemies operate that high. There's a sign of pretense of the priorities. These foreign backstabbing entities into win. Not against the reform necessary from the savage ways. Insulting cards in a misery. We're stuck in such petty luxury. We all partition in the right reason, call it destruction of the whole damn world. Julie shed open Julie will cherish it for minutes. You just can't share things like they do. And Julie always said that she should have got to when she had the chance to fight. She never got about shutting on top, but she ought to call that. People everywhere gather up in me, the break that down. It was a sign of today took their priorities. These foreign backstabbing entities into win. Are they committed to reform instead from the savage way? Insulting Carson and Desiree. We're stuck in such petty luxury. We all partition the victories and call it destruction in the whole damn world. Pretty fast for that song. It was too fast, I'd say. It's not really a good song for that beat. A little too fast. It's a little too fast, just like you. A little too fast, and your shoe. A little too fast, gets on you, means that's it. It's a little too fast. I figured out the problem. It's a little too fast. Yeah, it is. Not too slow. Instead, it is a little too fast. Like I said, it's a little too fast. Or a little too slow. Or a little too something in between. I don't know. Could be a yeah, or could be a yeah. Could be something in between. Like up here, or up here, or up here. And then you would be mean. How about this beat instead? I see. Oh, don't forget about me. Everybody said, and then they were surprised. Everybody said, and then they were surprised. Why did we say, because we were surprised. That's what I'm saying. Like everything I do right now is doomed to being mediocre and pointless. That's how I feel about life right now. I feel like I'm just terminally mediocre and pointless. You know, my pants also have a semi-presidential system where my penis shares executive powers with my testicles. It's true. We modeled it after France. You got to see some action. Action. I need FI, I know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I need. I don't know what to do with feeling mad for no reason. It's a big problem not having it, you know? It turns out it is a big problem. I was kind of figured, you know, I don't want to brag about it or anything, but God, it's like you don't even need FI at all. This is fucking great. It's way better before FI. I gotta admit, you know, it definitely. I'm limited to the extent to which I can understand how much of a deficit it is because it's a polar. So nobody really misses their polar. You know, they don't feel weak in it. They just feel like, oh, that's stupid shit. Who cares about that anyway? But obviously, those words notwithstanding, is that what you're saying? Yes, that's what I said. How's Derek? Open what? Why are you here? Where did you come from? I've been hiding in your kitchen area. I'm blind. Yes, I know that, Open. For God's sakes, every time you show up, I hear your little spiel about being blind. I'm blind! You think we get caught up too much in typology? Good question. And the answer is no, actually. And the reason I say no is because I did not have any tools by which to really deal with the world and myself in an effective way in terms of modeling things prior to cognitive functions. Cognitive functions made it possible for me to do what I did tonight in the car, where I said, okay, you've got a little bit of a headache and you just feel kind of meh. And you've been driving now for a little while and you haven't got enough sleep, and this is an SI thing, and you need to handle your SI. If I just said to myself what I might have said prior to or without cognitive functions, if I just said something like, you need to take better care of yourself, Eric, it's very... It's like, for the same reason that I want to know the grammar of a language before you start teaching me the vocabulary, so too, that was never satisfying to me. It was never indicative of anything. I never learned anything from that. It wasn't meaningful enough. I needed those terms defined better. Take care of yourself. What the fuck does that mean? You know? Like, I didn't get a lot of things. I don't know. Swift Eagle, that's not a very socially graceful question. one compromise, two compromises, three compromises. Not for me, for sure. I think it's probably a bad idea for many people, but not all. Um, a relationship between two people is already almost infinitely complex. You add a third person into the mix. No, he doesn't. Your friend is having FE issues. You need to talk some sense to them and say, look, you're gonna regret even suggesting this in the future. If I actually go through with it, you're gonna really regret it. Let's not do this. It's fucking stupid. Tell him that. Trust me. It would be a good deed you could do if you were to tell him that. Regardless, Jesus. Well, they're not gonna last at all anyway. Then. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Anyway, the point is, it's terrible. It's a terrible idea. The relationship between two people, if they trust each other and love each other at all, then it's going to be relationship destroying for sure. Um, it just, I don't know. I think it's a terrible idea. Now, for three single people who aren't in any relationships who want to do that sort of thing and keep themselves single so they can do that sort of thing, fine. You think will harden their relationship? That's ridiculous. It'll destroy their relationship. Have they ever I mean their relationship's already destroyed because they're I guess they don't really ever go through with it, I guess it's not. But fucking the stupidest thing in the world. Yeah, it's like in a cloud. Anyway, I don't want to even think about it. It's depressing. Young people making stupid ass mistakes. I don't even want to hear this shit, Cloud. It's just fucking depressing. Cereal, dog. Cereal. I just don't. Just... Meow, meow, meow. Well, I'm glad I'm not in a relationship that either party would ever dream in. Would ever dream of. Another party would ever dream of doing, of pursuing that, wanting that, allowing that. It's not hilarious. It's depressing. He's closer in type to Fenty Deluxe than someone like Dave Chappelle. So you think I'm closer to type? I'm closer to Fenty Deluxe than Dave Chappelle is close to Fenty Deluxe? Is that what you're saying? I think you might have. I mean, I would agree with you that I am more like Fenty Deluxe than Dave Chappelle is like Fenty Deluxe. Now, I don't know this Dave Chappelle that you're talking about here, but I'm assuming you're talking about Dave Chappelle. You must mean Dave Chappelle. You just spell it phonetically, you know. It is true. I am more like Fenty Deluxe than Dave Chappelle is like Fenty Deluxe. And that is because I believe Dave Chappelle is an introvert. And Fenty Deluxe and I are both extroverts. Okay, Cloud, I said I don't want to hear about it much. It's me out. Precipitation is long overdue. So is your mom, but that didn't mean I didn't eventually get to her last night. Yeah, Cloud, I'm gonna fart on you in a second. Okay, is that what you want? Are you asking me to fart on you? Because I will. I have gas in my butt. I'm not afraid to use it. It's not technically classified as a biological weapon. It's classified as a biological deterrent. Noise, noise, noise. I really shouldn't smoke in the house. Yeah, I got no time to lay my weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Meow 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 meow. Exactly, Cloud. It's a fucking nightmarishly bad idea. It makes me want to just meowdy 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 meow. I've got good news, Joel, Nathan Henry. The evidence is absolutely consistent with your claim. Let's have a smoking cheer. Keep it simple, Libra. Okay. Cheers. Smoking cheers. Cheers. Or schmears. That's smoking cheers. I'm not kink shaming. Is that even a word? Kink shaming? Is that a thing? I mean, then they should be swingers or shit, you know? Look, here's the thing. From what I understand, and no, not from any personal experience, from what I understand, swingers tend to make a point of swinging with other couples because things get very messy if you involve single people. And they have a sort of tight knit group of couples that they all participate in this with. Involving a single person in your relationship is a bad idea. Bastardized from what? Cloud self-identified as ESFP, Luis Dizon. Kills the marriage. Thank you. Thank you, Keep It Simple, Libra. Thank you. How could it not? You're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You can't fucking have your cake and eat it too. That's rule number one in life. Doesn't even make any sense. It's still rule number one in life. I hope the next sentence is the next two words are being wicked. Cloud, I am so done with hearing all of your fuck this girl, never fuck that girl, yeah. Just yeah, them yeah. Okay. Well, Rachel told me today, and it's actually consistent with my experience, sort of. But the INFPs always love two people. That, they're in the relationship and they love that person they're in the relationship with. Yeah, but I don't talk about banging a bunch of chicks. It's a different matter. Your thing is depressing to me because it's like I think about the feelings of the people that you're treating as conquests. Every time I thought about some INFJ woman, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't care about your ambitions as a human being as long as they're decent ambitions. Um, you know, I just find your woman conquering shtick ugly. I don't know. I don't mean to be mean. I might sound mean, but it causes me. It makes me squeamish. You know. What were my thoughts about on INFP? INFPs love two people. They have the person that they're with, and they always have this other person that's kind of like a if if they're good remains a like an ache within them. But if they're not, then there you go. Came out as polyamorous. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, yeah. Hey, I want my cake and eat it too. That's not an identity. That's an unreasonable claim on reality. Came out of the closet as polyamorous, as though it's not a choice, right? Like, you know, I am polyamorous. Is that, are you just trying to inform everybody you're fucking multiple chicks? Is that what you're saying? You normally try to keep that under wraps. I'm fucking multiple chicks and I'm proud of it. Okay, well, can you go be proud of it somewhere else? I'm just not that impressed. It's like your prowess at sticking your body parts places does not impress me at all. I'm not talking to you, Cloud, right now. I'm just talking in general to people who are into like polyamory, open relationships. I think Dave Chappelle might be an INTP, but he might be an ENTP. Okay, well then he's more like me than I mean, we're both the same like Fenty Deluxe. If you're right about that. Hi, Richello. Which is to say, we're all three of us NE DOMs, but Fenty Deluxe is an FI tool user. Oh, so this guy who's polyamorous is also bisexual. So he's just like, guys, you know what? I've chosen a path of abject depravity, but I want you all to treat it as a lifestyle, as an identity, and a wonderful thing I've chosen. Yeah, it's just called depravity. It's just like it's like penis gluttony. I mean, you don't need that much sex. You just don't need it. You're talking about me, Joel Nathan Henry? That I'm NEFI constantly? And why are you saying this? Would you like to give me an example of that? Polys were not bi. Bipolys are. Bipoly. I'm bipolyamorous. Tripolyamorous. That means I like an odd number of other genders with me. So, for example, if I'm a dude, I need 2 chicks, that's fine, or 3 chicks and another dude. Have to be an odd number. Good morning, Dolan. I'm talking about my new identity. I'm trisexual polyamorous. I'm polyhypergamamorous. Yeah, I'm polyhypergamamorous, which means I live in a commune full of people who all fuck each other, and I try to move up the social ranks and fuck the most important people. It's Jonathan Henry. I mean, he has mentioned in the past having some sort of mental illness. So somebody asked if he's bipolar. He is bipolar. Horse Pumpler One, I'm going to go ahead and correct you there. Kink shaming is a phrase invented by perverts in an attempt to normalize depravity. It doesn't do anything to denormalize decency. It's a difference. Farlupa? Who's Farlupa? No, I don't want to go to Serbia and join a foursome. Jeez. That sounds fucking awful. I can't imagine how, awful I'd feel about myself if I were to participate about that in something like that. There are there's young adults somewhere in some foreign country, and I fly over there and have group sex with them. No, never in a billion years. If I were ever to have done that sort of thing, I mean, I had a little depravity in my youth, I suppose, but it would have been when I was young. It certainly wouldn't be now. Sex isn't that hugely significant to me. That's SE spirit of adventure, Cloud. That's not any spirit of adventure. That's not where I want to be adventurous with making my stories. If I wanted to be edgy or adventurous, I'd want to go take mushrooms in Europe someplace, and it's like I would, if I were super rich and just still doing the same thing here, and people would randomly invite me to go places, I just say, I accept various invitations. I accept invitations if someone's like, "Hey, me and my friends are all going to do mushrooms on Saturday, and we're do you want to come out and fly out here and do mushrooms with us?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." If I were rich, I could just fly places at a moment's notice. Of course, I have to recognize as well that my constitution is not quite what it used to be. Um, like you don't really have to be a billionaire to be able to do that by any stretch of the imagination. You know, it doesn't cost that much to take a trip someplace. Regardless, and the other thing is there's not really that much time in life. You know, you like I'm saying about the Constitution, it takes me time to recover from any kind of extended travel. Travel is very hard on a person, and um, certainly it is on me uh, because I'm tall. No, look, just because something that's currently not normalized becomes more normalized, it doesn't mean the things that are currently normalized become less normalized. Normalization is not a zero sum affair. The thing is, Joel Nathan Henry, I'm trying to ask you. It's like the thing that kind of is frustrating for me is I ask you questions. Like I asked you, uh, I asked you why you were saying that I was NEFI. Like, can you give me an example of it? Now, my words said, can you give me an example of it? So you could respond directly to the request by saying no or yes, I can give you an example. You could just give me an example. You could say, um, I don't have any, or I don't. You can say a lot of different things about the example, right? But what you said was, uh, what you said was, oh shit, I forgot this was a safe space. I'm sorry. I didn't object to you saying it at all. I asked you to give me an example. So you're not responding to what I'm saying at all. Do you see? I don't care if you say that. You can say that all day long if you want. I can just ignore it or I can ask you a question about it. But there's no point in asking you questions about things if you're never going to answer them. So, you know, can you give me an example? Julie Henry, nobody's asking you to engage in groupthink, obviously. If I wanted you to engage in groupthink, I wouldn't be asking you to give me an example to establish that you are correct, right? I'm asking you to give me your reasons why you are correct. It's the opposite of groupthink. But see, the problem here, the only thing that means nobody's critiquing you. Nobody says don't say these things. Um, I'm asking you a question. So you could try answering the question. Would be the sensible thing to do. Depravity is fucking lots of bitches, basically. Hedonism, more or less. Sort of darker than hedonism, though. Uh, Wantonness and sin. uh, a unrestrained human appetites. I disagree on the kink shaming depravity thing. Consensual depravity is fine. It stays in its corner. I don't see why it's something that should be condemned. Because it doesn't stay in its corner. And, while consensuality is sufficient to make something legal, it doesn't make it above reproach. And just because I managed to talk some young girl into doing stuff that she doesn't really want to do because I've got some sort of sway on something or whatever, and she consents, that doesn't make me a good person. It makes me legal. So the problem is it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work where you've got all these fully developed, optimized people who are all making a truly wise, consensual decision to engage in these behaviors, and it's working out great. People just, people have enough trouble being in a healthy relationship with one person. Who? Oh, okay, well, maybe she talked me into it. It happened to me. Like, I had a few woman who was married. I wasn't the one who was pursuing her. She was seducing me. It's not illegal. It shouldn't be illegal. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not saying it should be illegal. I'm not saying every time it's the girl. I'm saying that I failed the test there, I failed the test, but she put a lot of effort into making sure I failed the test. So that's with me being fairly mature, well-developed human being at that point, but still somewhat naive. And people can be able to consent without and be adequately informed to be called fully informed without actually being fully informed, simply because they lack the personal experience to understand what they're getting themselves into. So the thing is, there can be situations that are stable situations, in other words, that don't bring more and more people in. I mean, stable situations with a limited set number of people that might work, that might be what all those people want, and that's fine. But most of these things involve getting new blood into the mix. And if you're getting some kind of new blood into the mix, you're always going to end up doing some sort of seducing, which is fine. The thing is, if those sort of things occur because individuals are independently seeking it out concurrently online and they all find each other, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm saying, I don't think it should be illegal. I'm just saying there's a moral standard that I believe runs afoul of participating in very much of that, usually, because over time, one's experience will reveal to you that people are getting hurt, that that it's not good, that you can just sort of feel the icky evil of it. So, that's what I say about it. You can disagree. I'm not advocating any policy changes or anything. You saying something for me in the group on Facebook? Okay, I'll listen to it. King Krishna Saramapagu. I've never even heard your voice. Well, maybe I did one time. Did you? Were you on camera? No, that was Sredi Chandran. Right. Sweaty Chandran. She's a butty Randran. I think it is illegal to bed goats. Maybe not in Serbia. Maybe that's just common practice in Serbia, but pretty sure you can't fuck your goats in America. Of course, someone would have to catch you. Now, if you're smart and you just take the goat into the bedroom, probably leave a trail of flower petals and it would just eat its way into the bedroom. You say, shh, baby, shh. Don't bleat so loudly. Ah, ah. Shh. Honey, you're being too loud. Oh, goats. Well, I tell you, nothing like humping a goat. So, nothing like humping a goat to start a crisp winter morning. You know what I'm saying? Really wakes you up and starts you off the day right. You know, the smell of goat tang wafting up from your pants all day long is just intoxicating. Good night, goat tang. Okay, so you know my goat pebbles? Yeah. I fucked her before work this morning. It's one of the best days of work I've had in a long time. The smell of goat tang wrapped it up in my pants all day was absolutely intoxicating. That's a beautiful vignette right there. It's a perfect little vignette. Part of a play or something. I don't know. All right. See you later, everybody. See you later, alligators. All right. I won't kink shame you if you won't shame kink me. There's a little bit of berry. Okay.